Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner Football Fans podcast. Today we have from right here in Norman, Wes Dunaway and Logan Henderson. Once again, we talk about the quarterback situation, what we think our defense is going to look like, and we have some real good talks about football becoming a man sport again. Sooner football fans is not associated with the University of Oklahoma, but we do have eligibility left. Boomer. Hey, Sooner fans. You got Terry and Rob here. Boomer up.
Boomer Terry.
And we're now 11 days from kickoff. How do you feel about that, Rob?
About the same as I did yesterday when it was 12.
Can't hardly wait. Still, it feels like football weather. It does not feel like August at all.
I guess it's going to get back up, though.
I don't know.
I don't know. Right now it feels like football weather.
Yeah, it pisses me off because when I played football in high school, we never had a August like this.
No.
It was always terribly hot and agonizing.
Well, I'm not going to complain about the weather, but whatever is blooming mold or whatever is really got my sinuses going. So I can complain about that a little bit.
Oh, well, I don't want to hear about it, so moving on. First off, I want to get into, I know you probably haven't, but I got to ask, have you been watching Better Call Saul?
I have. I've watched what? How many are out? Is it just two? Because I think
the third one was out last night.
Oh, well, I'm going to watch that tonight then.
Well, there you go, because they introduced a Breaking Bad character onto it.
Well, they had Gus already.
Well, yeah, Gus, but no, there's another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now you got me all peaked now.
So, and it's hilarious the way they do it. But when you see him, you'll know, and you see him from behind, and you'll know who it is.
Well, good grief.
But, yeah.
All right. So, podcast over.
I got to go watch Better Call Saul. So, if those of you out there, if you're not a Breaking Bad fan, there's something wrong with you. Because when that show came out, Caleb got me into it, and then we got Rob into it. And you like binged watched it, didn't you?
Pretty much.
You were down.
Yeah, don't call me. I didn't shave. Of course, I don't shave anyway, but, it was bad.
Yeah, you watched
for like 4 days or something. I don't know.
Because I think Caleb gave you he had like the first 5 seasons or something like that, or 4 seasons.
First couple or something. And then I think I even bought Netflix or something so I could just watch them all straight, Because, you can just, there are no commercials, because commercials are the bane of my existence.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I'd wait a year to watch,
the
a whole
next season.
Series. Yeah, absolutely.
That's one of the things I like about Netflix is, for one, there's no commercials. 2, like I told you, we've been watching Ozark.
Oh, have you been watching it?
Yeah, and it just, when it's over, you just sit there and it goes, the next episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, and there you are.
So if you're even worse than that, if you're like me, you can hit that button. And
it'll skip it.
I'm like, no, I'm not waiting 5 seconds. Bam.
I have refrained from hitting the 5 seconds because of that reason. I'm like, I can wait 5 seconds, Now, when it starts, I fast forward through the opening stuff, but I wait for it to start. So,
okay.
But
so you like it pretty good?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's weird.
It turns out a little different than I thought it was going to. You know?
But it picks up, the FBI agent and the hillbilly that they become fishing buddies. That's a little disturbing.
That's disturbing. Yeah, I did not see that coming. But I never see those kind of things coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't go too much more into that, but anyway, so I'm pretty excited about that. I can't wait till the next one, and because the next Better Call Saul, because because of what is said, it's going to start overlapping.
Oh, good.
Well,
they need to really, because let's be honest, we're watching it because we're huge Breaking Bad fans.
Right.
Now, I've become a fan of Better Call Saul. I liked his character in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But, it got slow there for a little bit, but, we stayed with it just because I think we're Breaking Bad fans.
Yeah.
So the more they can integrate a little bit of Breaking Bad in there.
They're integrating it in, and,
hook us all over again.
So, but yeah, last night after I got through editing the podcast, I clicked on the old, because we got it recorded and watched that. And I haven't really watched any more of the Last Chance U. I got about 4 into it, and that guy just kind of wore on me, the coach. It's a good one. I mean, it is what it is. That's why you watch it, is because of the idiotness of all of that, the craziness. But that guy's a different breed of cat, that coach.
So I still haven't got to watch any of that because all I have is like DirecTV Now and like HBO Now or something. I don't even have regular TV because really up until this last year I read more than I watched TV, which I kind of feel like a couch potato when I'm just watching TV and because I got a stack of books on my side of my table there, and I'm like I really ought to be reading some of these books.
See, I can't. I'm not a reader. I can't. I can read. Like I said before, I can read. I just don't.
You have the ability.
I have the ability. I just don't like. It makes me sleepy. I mean, if I want to go to sleep, I just start reading. The only thing I really read anymore is, Sports Illustrated or the ESPN if I get it, in. So, but I just all my whole family, Teresa, Caleb, David, and Megan, they're all readers. They all love to read. And me, I'm just like, no.
I don't know where we got it. I guess my I don't think my parents read all that much, but me and all 3 of my boys, we used to read all the time. So, especially Michael, my middle son, reads all the time.
Really?
He'll read before he watches any, plays any game, watches maybe anything.
Yeah. Well, I know like the what was it, the one about the kids that killed it, the war game show. Had the bird. What the heck's the name of it?
Stranger Things?
No, that's a word show.
Yeah.
No, it's the.
How old are we talking here?
It's just 5 or 10 years. They came out. Something games. God dang it. But it's where they put the kids in the deal and they fight to the death. Come on, Rob. You're
no.
Something the games. God dang it.
Oh, Hunger Games.
Yeah, there you go.
Hunger Games. Bird. I don't know what's a bird.
Well, there was a bird. And,
she's like a honeybird. Or
something like that.
Something like
but,
that. Okay.
Caleb read the first one of those and then got the rest of them and read them in, I don't know, like 3 days. Just sat and read them the whole. I can't do that.
That's not you. You don't do that.
Not way. Into that. Nope.
No imagination.
No.
Come on, Terry.
I'll wait till the movie comes out. So, and then I got to listen to Teresa and Caleb, especially. They critique the movies about, what wasn't like in the book, where the book was different. If you'd read the book, well, I didn't, so I'm happy with how it was.
Yeah, because most of the time the movie lets you down.
Yeah.
From the book to the movie, there's a whole lot of loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I don't know. Did anything go on in Soonerland today? I know we didn't name a quarterback because I checked Twitter before we got on here. And
so, have you heard any hubbub about that? Why he didn't name a quarterback?
No.
Do you think there's still a quarterback battle, or do you think he's trying to keep one of them from transferring or one of them from quitting?
I've heard both arguments.
But I don't think that's Lincoln.
No, I don't either. He just doesn't seem like a guy that would, lead a kid on.
Which leads me to believe that the contest is real.
Right.
And
it's
really
a real
close.
Battle. It's because I know there's coach speak. There's coach speak. We all know it.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't seem like a guy that would lead a kid on to go, hey, if it was a clear deal, he would say it. I mean, the argument that he doesn't want Austin, Kendall to leave, why? We got Kyler,
plenty of.
Oh yeah, and you got what's the kid's name? Mordecai. And then you got Rattler coming in
next year,
and the next guy,
right? He's already on the chain, the number 1 quarterback in the nation, right?
So I don't think that's an issue if they transfer. And from what I understand, Mordecai is doing great.
Yeah,
So he's not going with the ones, but it seems to me like if one of them would leave, all right, you're in with the ones. It seems like he's got the ability. So,
and what do you tell those guys like Mordecai, who may be third string quarterback, but could transfer and probably start at a large number of schools?
Yeah,
So
there's that, and like I said, I was out up in the city all day doing some training, so I didn't really get to pay any attention to what was going on. We can touch base a little bit on the A&M stuff too, which is. Already, he's there less than a year.
Now, as I understand it, this that's going on was prior to Jimbo Fisher, or is this since he's been there?
It seems to me the little deal that I read that it's bringing some heat to his staff is what it said.
Oh, okay. So for everybody that don't know, go ahead.
Oh no, you know it more than I. I mean, that's all I know.
I don't know all that much. Just what I read, and what I read is there was a kid transfer. I'm not sure. I don't even know what position he was, but he transferred from A&M to Arizona, and he was trying to get that extra year of eligibility, and the board had him fill out some sort of form that said, you need a good excuse as to why you transferred here. And among many, the top number one excuse is he didn't feel comfortable with all the money changing hands between coaches and players.
Yeah.
And that he was even on the receiving end of that. And then I guess he named several other things, probably none of them is bad, but I didn't hear what they were. I know I mentioned cursing and something else, and I'm like, I gotta feel like that's kind of pretty normal to him, but
kids today,
Well, it must be more extenuating. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, but when you start talking about money, that perks up some ears.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because like I said, I know that I just read a short little blurb on it just a little bit ago that said it's putting heat on the staff. So, I mean, it's crazy, but it goes on. I mean, it is what it is. And, we can get into a whole, worthless talk of should these players be paid? Should they be given, they're getting an education. Yep, they're getting an education, but
a free education.
A free education that is expensive.
Free room and board.
Yeah, free food,
clothing. I mean,
they get a lot. And the argument is if they want to take their buddies, the only person who can take their friends out for pizza is Kyler Murray, because he's the only one who's got a job apparently. So
my son's a college student, so I may not be the best one to ask on that because,
Well, I know that they give them a stipend.
They do, and it's not much, but they do give them money. Yeah.
So my deal is, I know that some of these kids they end up moving off campus. And I get it. I mean, I remember Rocky Calmus and the other linebacker Lehman. And they lived around here somewhere because we used to see them all the time at 7-Eleven down the street. And, so, I mean, why would you move out if you got free room and board?
Well, yeah. And, I've heard the first thing that comes up, seems like when anybody brings this up is, well, they can't even go to the movies. Well, there's a movie theater in the student union and students can go there for free.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion one way or the other, whether they should give them more or they should give them less or whatever. But I can tell you what they're giving them. It's worth a bunch.
It's worth a bunch.
Especially to people who their sons or daughters are not athletes.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So, and, the argument on the other side is, well, they make millions for the university.
Well, yeah.
And they do. And, but that's a part of it. I mean,
they're amateur athletes.
Yeah. Again, they we saw the deal where the North Carolina athletes got in trouble for selling their Jordan gear because they wanted some extra cash. You can't do that. That was university property gift or something, which. Well,
then there was a bunch of Ohio State players that got in trouble for selling their
jerseys. Yeah. Selling their autographs. They were signing.
It was something else. Rings or something?
Yeah.
To get a tattoo or something.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, But it's not like the kids don't know. You know what I mean? You know, they sit down and go through that stuff with them.
Sure they do.
You know, the do's and don'ts.
Oh, yeah, they got a whole office that does nothing but that kind of stuff.
Right.
You know,
so
compliance.
Yeah, but you know, I think Oklahoma has ran and still runs a pretty clean program.
I think so too.
You know,
that's why we didn't get Cam Newton.
Yeah,
because we weren't willing to pay.
I'm not going to comment on that one.
Came down to us in Auburn. He went to Auburn.
And he went to Auburn, yeah. And that's what Caleb always says.
They paid him and we didn't.
Yeah, well, they paid him when we didn't.
Because they're cheaters and we're not.
The other end of it is that they were going to pay him more. I've heard that argument too.
More. Get that word out. They were going to pay him and we were not.
Right, yeah. You know, so, I mean, and the university, I mean, I know you can't control donors and things like that. You can't control what goes on outside.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you know, but I mean, I think we were at something, and there were some players there. Rob, you were with me. Maybe it was over at when they used to come over to the games, and we were talking to somebody, and they said, you know, don't even offer to buy them a Coke because they can't. You can't buy them a Coke,
right?
At the football games.
Yeah, anything that's seen as
there.
Some sort of a benefit or something to that effect. I can't remember, but
no, and. Maybe it was one of the Optimist meetings we were at because they had got with the university and said, hey, it's just down the street. You know, could some guy, you know, because Peterson came over there.
Yep.
You
know, we didn't see him that often, but we definitely that one time seen Peterson and Tommy Harris.
Yeah, and they were just walking around, but they were telling us don't, you know, it was, you know, don't offer to buy them a drink or anything like that because, you know, and I guess the university told them that. You know, it's just that they come over there.
We always brought Gatorade and orange wedges or something. You want some orange wedges?
You know, and you bring up orange. Have you seen the stuff and how times have changed? You know, we've talked about this before. When I was in 8th grade, I remember we used to get a handful of ice at water break, okay, halfway through the practice. That's all the water we got.
Oh.
Okay. My freshman year in high school, it was the same way. You got a cup of water and a handful of ice, okay? And now when I got into high school ball, sophomore, junior, and senior, the coach there was a little more lenient with the water. It was, you know, we had a water guy walking around with dills if you wanted to drink. If you were standing, he'd squirt it and stuff, and then we had a water break. But I was watching a deal with the sports nutrition department, and at practice, they're handing out watermelon slices, orange slices, cantaloupe.
Well, good grief.
Yeah, it's
bunch of sissies.
You see them walking up and getting a big old slice of watermelon and cantaloupe, and she was talking about, you know, the nutrition, the amount of calories that these guys burn off.
Yeah. That
if you don't replenish it, it's going to tear them down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is why the athletes look like they do now. You know, because. You know, not that there wasn't some big old boys back in the day.
But we figured out how to,
you know, number one,
maximize.
You know, the old theory of, you know, not getting a drink makes you tougher. No, it doesn't. It makes your performance go down. But back in the day, it was you didn't get water at practice. You got it during a game. You could drink all the water or Gatorade you wanted during a game, but during practice, that was part of your conditioning. And we learn now that's not.
Not so smart.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like a buffet line over there. The players are walking over there getting big old slice of watermelon, apples, and that's the type of food that they have there. But they're eating during practice, and it's encouraged, you know.
Well, they have all that
or expected
Gatorade gum and, you know, that packaged stuff that Gatorade does. So I mean, they're top athletes.
Yeah,
I mean, they are. So yeah, them big bodies, they need some.
Yeah, but you know, it's just funny that they, you know, like I said, you know, not that long ago, you know, there was a coach accused of that here at Oklahoma, and it's probably the reason why he left. Part of the reason why he was, you know,
I was at practice when he did that.
Yeah, that wouldn't give them water.
Not only would he not give them water, but anybody that came in to watch practice, you didn't get water either.
Oh, really?
And everybody was mad. They were like, "What?"
Yeah. So you know, I know that they had a couple of guys get sick or something like that, and
people falling out everywhere.
Yeah, but it wasn't that long ago that, you know, that was still kind of a thing. And here now it's keep stuff in them to burn. don't let them burn what they've got, you know, which is probably why CeeDee Lamb, you know, gained 35, 40 pounds last year. You know, so.
Well, some of those linemen, though, you know, you want them up around 300, and as hard as they're working,
of food.
you know, and they start burning that, you know, and they're down at 270 now. That's not where they want them.
No, you got to keep that calorie intake. I remember watching the HBO behind the scenes or whatever when they did the longest yard, the new one, and you know all those big guys, you know Terry Crews and
he's a big boy.
Yeah, and you know, and they showed Adam Sandler was like he had never had a buffet, you know, because they fed him, you know, they had the the food trucks or whatever come out there, and it was steaks and potatoes, nothing but steaks and potatoes. And he was talking about these guys eat more than any humans I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it was like they kept steaks and potatoes because that big of guys, as much as they work out and everything, they burn that much. They have to eat a ton of food
They
to
need
stay
that protein.
big. And they were showing over there, they were slapping big old porterhouse steaks on their plates and baked potatoes. And
well, you know, Adam Sandler got real big too.
Yeah. But
I don't know. I think he's probably doing some steroids or whatever. But he got big.
Yeah, he got big for that.
He's thick. Yeah.
But that's a great movie too, by the way.
Pretty good movie.
But and you know the fact that
is it as good as the original or
no? There's none of them as good. The best thing about that, you know, what is better than the original is they reference Oklahoma in the new one.
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds,
who we all know was a Florida State guy,
but wore his old worn out OU hat and Heisman Trophy winner. But
he said, "I was a Sooner then." When we're in Boz is sitting right over there, you know.
And then in the original one, they referenced Oklahoma State. And there was a guy a big Indian dude that they went in, he was working in the laundry. And he said, "I've heard you played some ball." And he goes, "Yeah, at Oklahoma State." "Oh, Oklahoma State you?" And he goes, "Penitentiary."
Oklahoma State Penitentiary, yeah. Yeah.
So,
same difference.
Yeah, same difference.
Same color.
Yeah, same color, exactly.
That's just wrong, Terry.
No, it's not. It's exactly right.
Oh,
so
jailhouse
you know,
orange.
I got two references there. There was Oklahoma State reference, and my hometown is where Oklahoma State Penitentiary's at.
Oh, yeah.
Grew up in the good old
that's good
prison
stuff.
town. So, but anyway, our Sooner fan is here, so we're going to get him and we're going to talk some Sooner football. All right. Right now in the podcast room, because we can't call it a studio.
We can call it
call it a studio, but Teresa makes fun of us when
well,
we
that's
call
okay.
it a
She makes fun of us for all kinds of stuff anyway.
But for right here in Norman, we have two Sooner fans. Wes Dunaway, who contacted us, wanted to be on, and he brought a buddy, Logan Henderson, with him. So they're on the podcast. So Boomer Wes, Boomer Logan.
How's it going?
Sooner.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. So first thing we always want people to do is tell us a little bit about yourself, as much as you want everybody to know. So Wes, we'll start with you. If you're wanted for crimes or anything like that, you don't have to.
I'd like to assume that I'm not wanted for any crimes.
No judgment here.
Hey, I hear you. But yeah, I've just contacted you guys. Been a huge Sooner fan basically all my life. Pretty much just wanted to get in contact with someone else and wanted to talk as much football as I did. But really besides that, I mean, I grew up here in Norman.
Yeah.
I've been to quite a few games. Like to say I'm a super fan. But
Yeah.
I don't really know how much of a super fan I am.
Now, he's pretty much a super fan because he's got a tattoo, Rob.
He's got a tattoo of Rob?
No, not you.
Oh. Okay.
I do have a tattoo of Sooners across the chest.
Yeah, so show him the.
Just right across.
Oh, yeah.
I was
It's spelled correctly and everything.
the goal was I wanted to get like
Dedication.
some like jersey material, but I guess you could say last second I kind of chickened out.
That
And
hurt?
I didn't want to go like full fledged.
You didn't cry or anything, did you?
No cry.
I would cry.
So I know it's podcast, you can't see it, but he literally has Sooners across the top of his chest like it was a jersey. You know, like it says on the jersey. the block letters. So that's pretty dedicated.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
pretty.
I'd like to assume so.
That may qualify as a super fan. I don't know. The only way I got that status was I was a fan, and then I put a cape on.
There you go.
Super fan.
Super fan.
Right?
Yeah, and I was just telling them that you don't have any tattoos, do you?
Negative.
Yeah, I don't have any tattoos. All my
You don't have the little butterfly right up on the back, lower back?
No tramp stamps around here. No tramp stamps.
It says exit only. So.
Oh, see, there's a line, and you just jumped
out,
over it. You jumped right over the line.
So, anyway, so and then we also we got Logan. So Logan, a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm not really originally from here. I'm from Maine. Moved here 2001. Parents moved down here. My mom got a job at OU. Just kind of came down here. Originally a Virginia Tech fan. I got a Virginia Tech tattoo. Got the Hokie thrown.
Hey, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor jersey on.
Tyrod Taylor.
Huge Tyrod fan, man.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
He's been an idol.
I mean, he had what?
Michael Vick has been my number one guy.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But because you moved here, you became more of a Sooner fan.
Because I moved here, I became a Sooner fan.
You have to.
Fell in love. I mean,
Yeah.
You can't just not fall in love with it. There's just something about this place.
Yeah.
Have you toured the stadium or anything? Or?
Oh yeah, I've been.
that's nice.
I've been to plenty of games.
Oh, okay, cool.
I had season tickets for the year we went to the Sugar Bowl 2013.
Yeah.
And then went to OU Texas, saw us lose. That was pretty awful.
We don't talk about losses.
No,
That's,
don't talk about losses.
that's the new motto. We have been, but season's coming up. We don't talk about
It's a
losses
great
anymore.
season. I mean,
So
And I don't think he's allowed at OU Texas. He's 0-2.
yeah, don't go anymore.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna go this year. We're gonna win that one.
Yeah. Well,
We're gonna
if
destroy
we
it.
lose, we're
If we
coming
lose,
after
I
you.
mean, if we lose, I'll take full blame.
We should
The
demand
entire
Texas to
Sooner
win.
Nation, I will not attend another OU Texas game.
Because I'm superstitious. We talked about that before. I got
Yeah.
the superstition. So
I got to wear the same shirt.
now,
Same shirt, man. Every game.
well, 2 years ago when we played Houston and Ohio State, notice I said played. I went through 2 new shirts and 2 new hats. I was on my 3rd one by the 4th week of the season.
I think I went through an entire new hairdo.
Yeah.
Pulled out all my hair after those 2 games.
So I've already gone and got my new gear for this year, trying a new style. I got the Columbia shirts, like what you've got. The kind of, I guess I call them fishing shirts.
It's a nice shirt, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice shirt. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
comfortable. So
Yeah, very comfortable.
I'm hoping that will, and I still got my trusty, even though I wore it at the Rose Bowl, it was good for me because I got it after the Iowa State game. But my bucket hat, I got one of the coolest bucket hats. So I think I'm going to have to keep that one.
Bucket hat is my
Gotta keep
style.
Yeah.
I love bucket hats.
And it's a cool one too. And I was at games and people would come up and comment on it. Man, I love that hat. Where'd you get it? And I was like, down the street.
Right there.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, what are you guys? Jump in, either one of you. What are your expectations for this year? What do you think's going on? Let's get into what everybody talks about first. Everybody's talking about the quarterback. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Do you believe that, or do you believe there's a quarterback?
I think there's a quarterback. I just don't. I think he wants to keep his cards in close.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of knowledge in my book. I don't think it's very smart that Kyler would have stayed.
Yeah.
I mean, if he knew he wasn't going to be the starter, why would you stay
Right.
to pass? I mean, just to pass up starting a career in baseball.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I think Kyler's going to start. And I think he's going to do really well.
Yeah,
Just with the spread out offense and the creative mind of Lincoln Riley. I mean, he'll be able to run the ball when he needs to,
Yeah.
throw the ball. I mean, he didn't go undefeated in that one for no reason.
That's true.
Right.
I mean, I'd pretty much like to assume the same. I feel like there'd be 2 different types of offenses if we were to go with Kendall as opposed to going with Kyler. But I just feel like the playmaking ability of Kyler, I feel like that just is going to really set him apart. And I really feel like it's kind of back to what Logan said, but I feel like he's trying to keep it an arms race, but I think he knows. I think Lincoln, deep down, he knows that the Kyler's going to be the man.
Rob, we were just talking about this a while ago. So, do you want to comment again, or
No, go ahead.
no?
Let's hear it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were just talking. We do a little pre-piece with everything, and I don't think it's clear cut because I don't think that's the type of man that Lincoln Riley is.
I can see it.
I don't think he's going to lead these kids on. That
we think it's a real race.
I think it's.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Austin Kendall is amazing and talented.
And a lot of the media that, it's opened up to them, a lot of the practices are saying he's doing a lot better than what everybody anticipated. And that's the media, again, that's the media guys anticipating, but that's the word that they're hearing too, that it's a real race.
Yeah.
And I think, if the way Lincoln relates to these kids, and the kids nowadays, the Twitter generation, all the things he does with recruiting, it would be a black eye on him and the university if he strung it out. I don't think he's going to tell a kid going, it's a race, because he doesn't want a kid to transfer. I mean,
okay, absolutely. I mean,
you see what I'm saying?
Looking at it from that perspective, totally. I can totally see it because I don't really feel like Lincoln himself will, like you said, like lead someone on just to believe.
If it was cut and dry, he would tell them, "Hey, the job's his."
I don't think he's that kind of coach. I think he would be straight up.
What you're not going to hurt Kyler's feelings because he's got $5 million in his pocket.
He's not hurting one bit.
And he can, if he goes, "Hey, I'm not the starter, then I'm going to go play baseball." Okay, you're not the starter
because
so
what?
Yeah.
Tanner Mordecai is a pretty good little player.
And I like the same Spencer Rattler coming in next year.
So,
I don't think we're in.
I think he's probably got the upper hand.
Oh,
in
sure.
But I don't think it's a done deal. I really don't. It just depends. I was surprised at the spring game is how athletic Kendall was.
Absolutely,
the first game they ran was a zone read, and he ran it like 12 yards.
Yeah,
he looked good doing it. So
he did. He did.
And a lot of people do forget. Austin Kendall's been committed to Lincoln Riley since he was in like 7th grade. When Lincoln Riley was at East Carolina.
Yeah.
So he's been a Lincoln Riley guy.
Yeah. So
he knows that offense like the back of his hand.
Yeah. But initially I thought it was, he's not going to come back. Kyler wouldn't come unless he knew he was a starter, but I don't think that's the case anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's the logical train of thought. I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even if Austin Kendall is the starter, it's not like Kyler Murray is just going to ride the bench. He's one of the fastest players on the team. You can incorporate him somehow.
They put him out in the Rose Bowl game, at the split end and on a couple other things just to get him the ball. So.
Yeah, and I recall a few times, what was it, the Ohio State game? Whenever it was Trey Sermon taking a lot of direct snaps, and then you just saw basically Kyler lined up like next to him. Yeah. And so it was just a lot of like deception. I feel like you can incorporate him somehow, some way if Kendall is the man. Yeah.
So, but it wouldn't shock me either way. I think most of the Sooner fans want, Kyler. It's just.
I think that's a given.
He's a pretty pick.
Yeah, but I would kind of say I want him because I think the intangibles, but I want the guy that's going to win. That's.
I hear you. I think all of us want that.
Yeah,
arguably Kyler is the most explosive player in the country.
Oh yeah.
How can he be on the bench?
Yeah.
First play of the game took it 67, 70 against West Virginia.
Yeah. On a simple zone read.
Simple.
Up the middle, untouched.
But
so if he's in there, that is a dynamic of the game that you have got to pay attention to. You've got the defense for, and then if he drops back and throws a 70-yard bomb on you, which he can do.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to light up some teams this year. But I think we're going to see, if we're up, on FAU 35-0 at half, I think we see
Kendall.
Austin Kendall for the whole second half, man.
And that's one of the things I really liked about Lincoln last year that irritated me about Bob. Bob left the starter in until
the last play of the game.
3 minutes left in the game, and it's done. Yeah. Last year in several games, I think the Tulane game, it was like halfway through the third quarter. He was putting the quarterback, getting reps in. You got to have, because you never know. And I think it paid off because Baker went out during the Ohio State game. He was out for 4 or 5 plays. You had a guy with some game experience, that could come in and carry the ball. So,
well, and if the battle is that close, he's got to give him some. The starter is always one play away.
Yeah,
absolutely. From next man up.
Pulling a hammy or turf toe or whatever. Anything. Yeah, anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are a lot younger than us. Yeah, they went to school with our kids, but it's this generation now. If you 4 years ago, you play football at OU, and you play baseball at OU, and the Oakland A's draft you 9th pick and say $9 million to come and play baseball. Do you come back and play football, or do you take the money and go play baseball?
100% honest, I think I would leave. I would have went and played baseball because that's $9 million.
Yeah,
That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, but he still got the money.
He still got the money.
I mean, that's true. I mean, kind of where do you see yourself? And I think at a chance to be the starter at the University of Oklahoma, as prestigious as this place is, I mean, why not come out and try and be the starting quarterback here? If you know you have the money in the bank, just come play 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the money, I mean, it's really, why not? I mean, if Kyler's just given this one opportunity, this 1 year, I mean.
You know, I know we haven't seen his contract, but there's got to be something in there if he gets hurt. Or let him do it if he gets hurt.
You'd have to think so. I mean,
and I've had this discussion with Sooner fans, and they're like, well, he's not made of glass. And I was like, well, neither was Troy Aikman when Miami snapped his leg in half.
Exactly.
Joel Theismann.
His leg came apart.
Nasty injuries.
And
back from Miami, what was his name?
Willis McGahee.
McGahee, that's the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tyrone Prothro, from that receiver from Alabama.
The running back from South Carolina, what was his name?
Marcus Lattimore.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. So, you're always one play away from that.
And then Treadwell. That was a nasty one, too, against Auburn. Oh, yeah.
Well, and what was it? Rob, you said you'd rather, try to hit fastballs than have 300-pound men trying to kill you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to agree. Yeah. I don't think I'm touching
they're trying to rip your head off.
Yeah.
They're not just trying to hit you.
Yeah. They're trying to take your head off.
I was a defensive lineman.
Oh, yeah.
I really wanted to pull your head off.
Oh, yeah. You're trying to rip people's heads off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, there's that aspect. Not that he's made of glass, but it doesn't. It doesn't take, it just takes a freak accident. I mean,
and there has to be, he's the 9th overall pick, and you're letting him go play college football.
Yeah.
There has to be something in that contract.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But
you know what I want to know, and this is totally off subject, what made him choose A&M out of high school?
Well, apparently money. No, with what's going on today.
I'd like to assume maybe someone had to do something with it. I would really like to assume it was just maybe the offense. I feel like coming out of Allen, I just felt like, why not go to the Texas school and the SEC?
Well, Allen's right down there by A&M too.
That's maybe could play a part into a family or something.
Maybe.
like
I
that,
think his father's been known to be a helicopter parent, and his father had a lot to do with every kind of decision he had. So that may have.
Well, but then again, during that time, the offense that A&M was running, they had Johnny Football.
Johnny Manziel.
It
so
makes sense.
And you get Kyler Murray. I mean, Johnny
surely
Manziel.
Kyler Murray could do it better than Manziel.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I really hope so.
But anyway, one of the things that we were talking about doing tonight is, I'm going to put my glasses back on so I can read. I wanted to kind of go through the roster. I got the roster here, and just talk about the different guys on here and what we think. Better year, average year, or if we don't know them at all. Okay. So.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, snap.
So we've already talked about, and don't be afraid to not know them, because I can tell you right now, I'm reading some of these names and I don't know. So we've already talked about, Kyler and the quarterback situation. Rodney Anderson. Let's go right to the running backs. What do you think? Better year than what he had last year?
I'm going to go ahead and say he takes us a little bit of a step back, but
Really?
I feel like because Sermon will be a lot more
step
involved
up?
into this offense. Not just because of the type of offense that we run, but I just feel like Lincoln sees how talented of a back that we have in Sermon, and I just felt like he was kind of underlooked last year.
Yeah.
So,
Logan?
I think he'll be, I'd say about the same productivity-wise, overall stats. It's just he went beast mode. 6-7 games of the year. I think he'll probably average out when 1,000 yards all season.
When you can flat foot jump out of a swimming pool.
Yeah, that's
I would like to assume that you're a pretty strong man.
Crazy. I wouldn't doubt that he has 1,200
No.
1,200 yards this year, something like that. He'll have a great year.
Rob?
So the offensive line is at least as good as it was last year, and maybe better. Plus you add Baker was a runner. Baker could run. but they have really got to respect Kyler on the end.
Right.
So anything going up the middle, any cross, misdirection play, I think those are going to be pretty effective because somebody's always got to be on Kyler.
Always.
Yeah.
So and take that and add to it that Rodney Anderson has spent another year in our system. He's going to be bigger, stronger, faster. I think that he emerges as probably a first-round draft pick.
I can see it.
I mean, he was a stud last year. Just give him a year to get faster, stronger, and smarter, and add that to the awesome O-line that we've got. Explosive offense. I think he's got a chance to be really good.
And he had 200 yards in the Rose Bowl. That's no small feat against Georgia's defense. Pretty good defense.
Okay, let's jump.
Wait. How do you feel about it?
I think he's going to just bust loose. I think him and Sermon both are.
Yeah.
There's just I don't think
I can totally see it.
2,000-yard backs.
Yeah, like Rob, you put that offensive line, depending on what quarterback, but either quarterback's going to add a dimension to it. I want to see those guys in the backfield together more than what we've seen. Yeah. Even with Mixon and P. Ryan, you rarely saw them in the backfield together.
We did some.
That little diamond formation.
Yeah. I felt like we put Mixon more in the slot whenever you saw P. Ryan and him both on the field. So,
I would like to, if it's Kyler at the quarterback, but line up and you got Sermon on the left and Anderson on the right.
Run that Georgia Tech option.
Then what do you do?
What do you do?
So let me ask you this. Let me insert this question here. Do you feel like we're going to run the ball more this year than we did last?
We ran the ball more than we thought we were last year. We ran it more than we threw it last year. I think it's going to be the same. I mean, I literally think that Lincoln's, it is the run and gun. Or take him out of the realm of run and gun with Leach and all this other stuff. Throw it around the front. Lincoln strategizes what he figures out the weakness and what they're not going to be able to.
And exploits
their weaknesses.
Yeah.
With our strengths, and I do. I think we'll probably run the ball more.
60-40?
Yeah.
70-30?
60. I said 60-40. Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to see how many times you'd say yes.
Yeah. Well, it was just once.
Okay.
So,
right. That's usually what I get, but
Yeah, but I mean, I just think with that, with that backfield, you can't not utilize it.
Even all the way down to Marcellus Sutton too.
Yeah.
He's a great kick returner. I mean, in the spring game, I felt like, and even Kennedy Brooks wouldn't even count him out to get some touches this year. However, I just don't really see too many guys getting a shot over Sermon.
Well, they're gonna play 3 and 4 backs.
Yeah,
it's just that simple. I mean, they always have. Lincoln always
RBU.
has. Yeah, and they're going to get their carries, and then
absolutely.
And what I really like about what Lincoln has done, and he's done it all the time. Whoever is hot with the ball is the one who gets the most carries.
Last year.
Yeah.
We start off Abdul Adams beginning of the year, and then Trey Sermon.
Well, you can't fumble the ball here at the University of Oklahoma.
You can't. That's why he's in Syracuse.
That's why he's at Syracuse.
Yeah. You fumble the ball at Oklahoma, you get a scholarship at Syracuse.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
So I mean, as the game progresses, he leaves one out there longer, and more times than not, last year it was Anderson. But there were games at Sermon,
Yeah, I feel like against Ohio State, I just felt like he made a really big difference. And I feel like that's kind of what separated him amongst, I don't know, I just felt like he himself made enough plays that I felt like that kind of just separated him from like the Marcellus Suttons of the world. But then I think it was,
Oklahoma State. And there was other games that it was Sermon. Oklahoma State.
Sermon, he broke a 50-plus yarder in the game or something.
In the game to put it out of reach. So
we did have that starting pitcher, closing pitcher type thing with the backs.
Yeah. So it's a good problem to have. So
great problem.
I love this problem.
Calcaterra. What do y'all think about? Is he gonna be as good, better, worse?
Fantastic.
He's going to be fantastic. So
he's
as good.
I think he is better than Mark Andrews.
Ooh.
I think he has a wider. I think he has a wider range of motion in his catching ability.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews, he was a better runner than Calcaterra, but Calcaterra will go up and get the ball over people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Helps when you're 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like you really saw signs of just him being utilized in the offense, and I felt like you did see a lot of Mark Andrews in him. But pretty much what Logan said, I feel like he might shine a little bit more in this offense than Mark Andrews did with Baker. I just feel like what Logan said is more or less his ability to just go up and get it. I feel like that's one thing that really separates him from other tight ends, and I feel like he's more balanced. So I feel like, I don't know, Mark Andrews didn't really scare too many linebackers when it came to his blocking ability.
He
but
just needs to block.
He just
he can
needed
block,
to get
he's
open.
Fine.
Yeah. Rob?
So how many catches do you think Calcaterra had last year?
Not that many.
Not that many.
Yeah.
Not many.
Right? Not many?
Not many.
He's preseason all Big 12 tight end.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Somebody knows something.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
Someone's on the same page as me.
Yeah. So I think the biggest difference is going to be, Andrews was a deep threat because Andrews could flat out move.
For a big
Yes.
boy, he
For
could
a
run.
big guy, he's
So how quick is Calcaterra?
I don't think he's got that type of speed.
I may have to
he's
Google him on up.
probably like a 4.8
Yeah,
speed.
but I think you're going to from in the early 2000s from Trent Smith.
Trent Smith.
Yeah.
Trent Smith, I think that's more the tight end that Calcaterra is.
just a more balanced type.
I'm gonna 5 yards and out, over the middle type of guy.
Exactly.
Mark Andrews could fake an in and go onto a post and outrun those corners.
You saw him burn a corner against Texas, and he was arguably one of their better players last year. So,
any other thoughts on Calcaterra? Move on to another one.
Move on.
I'm not going to go through everybody. We'll just go through some of the people here. Stick on offense. Let's go with Lamb, CeeDee Lamb. Better, worse?
I think this is the year he's having a breakout year. I feel like this could be a season for him that not a lot of receivers have had at OU, and not just because of his size and his ability. I just think that with the way that he's incorporated into this offense, I feel like he's going to be the number one guy. Don't get me wrong, Marquise is going to get his touches, absolutely, but I just feel like he's going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and just smarter overall.
Yeah.
So,
Logan?
I say it's about the same, but he'll have more effective and timely plays.
Yeah.
Just because our offense is completely littered with
receivers.
Playmakers, receivers, backs, tight ends, a quarterback that can run a 4-3.
Yeah.
And he'll still have his timely catches and he'll have his big plays, but he won't have, it's not like a 1,500-yard receiving year or something crazy like that. More or less, high hundreds.
Yeah.
He'll be good.
Yeah. Rob?
Well, he looks like a professional bodybuilder.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that he might not have the production he had last year because we may be extremely effective in the run game.
Yeah.
And if we are, then all of the receivers all their numbers are going to go down. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. But physically,
I think
he has put in the time. He has put in the work.
Yeah.
He's on the planet.
He may be another first-round draft pick.
That's what I'm saying. I think coming into OU, he was only a little over $170.
Yeah, he was tiny.
He was frail.
Yeah, he's put on some weight.
To say the least. And I think that he could be, honestly, one of the better receivers OU had this past few decades.
I think you're going to see him more physical, like Calcaterra, a more physical receiver.
Yeah.
And then on the blocking end of it, he's going to. A corner safety is not going to want to see that guy coming across.
You're not going to play receiver at OU if you can't block the outside.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see him because I think he's going to. I think this is going to. Marquise kind of. Hollywood stole the show last year.
Oh yeah.
Primarily at the track meet at Stillwater that we had the 400 points scored by both teams.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, but I mean, that speed, he's going to get his. He's going to outrun people. But I mean, I think he's going to. I think, Hollywood Marquise is going to draw some double teams because of his speed.
I think that he set himself apart the last half of the season. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, it was watching him early last season. I felt like he wasn't really utilized too much, but I felt like, was it the Texas game, if I'm not mistaken? Whenever he caught that we ran like a halfback pass to Sermon.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, he caught that, and then I just remember seeing from there on out, I just felt like something set him apart, maybe in practice, and he just, from there on out, it was just, he became Hollywood.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump over to the defense.
Hold up before we go to. What about Jeffrey Mead?
Jeffrey Mead.
He's a senior this year.
Receiver, right?
6'6".
Track star.
Apparently, he looks pretty good too. So, I mean, I think
see.
we have an embarrassment of riches at wideout. I think
Nick Basquine coming back from injury. Michael Jones.
I also heard a lot of hype from A.D. Miller. I heard that redshirt year helped him a lot.
Charleston Rambo.
Yeah, I mean,
coming off redshirt,
we're going to be
we
pretty
have a plethora of
and
receivers.
then we got like 4 more coming in next year.
we got
the number 1 and the number 2, right?
Next year,
if I'm not
next year's
mistaken,
class
they're
is
all
on a whole nother
3 of them
level.
are 2 of them are 5 stars.
Yeah,
1
one
to
of them just
4.
got his 5th star.
Yeah. So I mean,
Theo Weiss just got his.
yeah.
RJ Henderson,
and RJ
Trajan Bridges.
Yeah. Good
So-
Lord.
So it's ridiculous
that
we're sitting here talking about these guys. Jeffrey Mead may be the one on the very bottom, and he's a 6'6" receiver that runs like a 4.5 40.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
and that's saying a lot
rich get
about,
richer.
about the
Ridiculous.
depth here.
Well, and then what about Stoops? They were talking about him again last night.
Yeah, I mean that guy, he can play.
Yeah, they said
play.
he is. And actually, it was CeeDee Lamb was like he's no joke. He said he runs the routes, he catches the ball.
If you saw that
And
one-handed
he's tough
catch,
as a nail.
Yeah,
I saw that one-handed catch.
And he's got
that
the
went
last
viral.
name.
Yeah.
I've seen that same one. Yeah.
It's like a
so
Wes Welker type.
yeah,
Just throw him around. throw
Except
the
I think
ball
he's
to
probably
him.
tougher than Welker.
yeah, tougher. He's not as fast, but he's
Maybe not.
Yeah, not as
Takes
fast,
hits.
but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's turning heads, and I think we may see a Stoops on the field at
Yep.
some time this
That'd be
year.
cool.
Not in cleanup. I
Yeah.
think we're going to see him in some situations that
Wouldn't be
he could
surprised.
benefit. So, when I keep looking over there, sometimes it stops recording. So,
Yeah, okay.
Oh, can I say one thing?
sure.
Jonathan Alvarez over Creed Humphrey. What do you guys think about that?
I think they're going to, personally, I think they should move Alvarez over to guard and put Creed at center.
I think Creed should start
Yeah.
day one.
Because they can always move it back. But you got the experience. And what I'm hearing and what I've been reading is that Humphrey still hasn't grasped it all yet.
Yeah.
But he's so damn strong,
Yeah.
and physical
So-
that it overtakes his mistakes.
Alvarez has the experience.
Right.
And I believe he's a little taller,
Yeah.
which I think is the benefit. But, Kyler doesn't need a tall center.
Yeah.
Landry Jones needed a tall center.
Yeah.
But Kyler doesn't really need one, so I don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
But I think Alvarez has got some experience on him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still feel like you'll see quite a bit of shifting around on that line. I don't feel like the game 1 starting line is going to be the
Oh, no.
same as
Well,
let's say
and-
game 12 or 13.
We've got Jason Young going to be on our post game or our pregame stuff or our preseason stuff this Sunday that we're going to put out, and he talked about beating ball. That's one of the things he does. It's not the best player; it's the best unit that he puts out
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
It's not.
That's how it should be.
He may be the best at the center position, but he doesn't work as well as with your 2 guards or that guard, and it's the unit. And then there's different units that work together, in different situations that you'll put them out there. So
I
Which
just want to
is-
see Creed move some people out the way this year.
yeah,
Well, he can certainly do that.
which is one of the things people were I heard some talk about the spring game was vanilla and this, and they really didn't do that. Well, I mean, you got an offensive unit out there, the line that they're not working with each other all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it was really windy the spring
Yeah,
game. So I mean,
freaking cold.
People were wanting us to air it out, and I was just like, you can't.
It was god awful conditions.
So Rob, can I move on to?
Okay, we can go.
Can I
now.
move on to defense now?
We can go now.
Okay.
Wait, kickers. No.
Kickers. No.
Okay.
Let's start with Caleb Kelly.
Stud.
Guy has turned into the Incredible
Jacked.
Hulk over the summer,
to say the least. And I don't even think I need to say much. Logan pretty much summed that one up. He's a
Stud.
stud.
Rob.
I mean,
Well, what I like is I see a data trail that's telling me that they are all putting in their work.
Yeah.
From the defense to the offense, they're all, you don't add 30 pounds of muscle in your bicep unless you worked hard.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that a bunch of them have been working hard over
Yeah.
the summer. So that, I mean, for us to see the market improvement, the noticeable size difference, speed, it really means that somebody is leading them, and they're all putting in the time, the gym time, the speed drills, whatever else. So, as a Sooner fan, that makes me excited.
Great.
To see that product on the field.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
spoiled, to say the least, when it
Yeah.
comes to all these linebackers that we've had.
Hopefully the defense can help them getting bigger and faster.
We kind of want to avoid that talk because we've been running that into the ground. But if we move up 20 spots from the number 67 defense to the number 47 defense, we're playing for a national title.
Yep,
Yeah, it's that
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's that simple. And that's 47 is still, in my opinion, unacceptable.
It's
Unacceptable.
awful,
No.
but I mean, if you have a top 5 offense,
To have a Brett Venables type defense again.
Not the defense that Brett Venables had here, but the defense he has at Clemson.
yeah, we need that. We need that D line.
Yeah.
It's coming.
I think it's
coming.
coming.
Here's what I want to talk about: Kenneth Murray. I think Kenneth Murray is going to be a beast this year. What do you think, Rob?
Okay, so I think Kenneth Murray was somewhat of a beast last year. He was just out of place a lot.
Yeah.
And more in the the Georgia game than any other. Now he had some good games. Don't get me wrong. Obviously the kid is good.
Yeah.
So that's just all about coaching. That's film room. That's being in the right spot. If that kid's in the right spot in that third quarter, we shut Georgia down and we go on to play for the national title.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put it all on his shoulders. I mean, it wasn't all his fault. But there were some holes that
Freshman mistakes.
Yeah,
I could have skipped through, and I don't skip.
I agree.
So,
Definitely against the Georgia. That was whenever you saw the just the inexperience as a whole. But I think that it's like what you said, Rob. Just he had some great moments last year. I just feel like being in the film room. I feel like overall he'll be a better player, but I don't think he will be as good as people want him to be, unfortunately. I will just say that he'll be productive enough that he won't make too many mistakes.
so he's moved back into the position that he's more comfortable in, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna have to disagree with you a little bit on that
Understandable.
because last year he was playing a position that he wasn't completely 100% comfortable with, and I think this year he is. So hopefully that helps him out a lot, and he's in the right position more often than.
I'd like. Hopefully I'm wrong here. I'd really like to think so.
I like what they're talking about with his attitude. He's serious. And he took the Rose Bowl personal. He took it on. He's taking it on his shoulders.
I hear that he watches it almost daily.
He's watched it tons of times, over 100 times. I'm looking at it right here. That he's watched it over 100 times.
That is crazy.
And has studied 8 to 10 linebackers during the off season. Primarily Luke Kuechly from the Panthers.
Luke Kuechly.
Kuechly? Well, okay. He's a Panther. I'm a Steeler. So, but he's turning out to be the leader on that, and he's coming back with a little bit of attitude. He's taken what happened in that Georgia game personally, apparently to him. What happened personally, and is coming back and stepping it up.
I think if our DBs, which we'll get to, if our DBs step up, it won't put as much pressure as on our linebackers.
Yeah.
So, but I think Murray and Kelly both will have pretty phenomenal years.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately for him, in the Rose Bowl game, when he was caught out of position, it was glaring.
Oh, yeah.
Very obvious.
There was a hole there, and there was nobody for,
Yeah.
30, 40 yards. So I hate it that he's taken that, so personally.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it's only going to benefit the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really do.
Just learn from it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't really do anything except learn from it
Yeah.
at this point. So
Come back and work harder. And that's
Exactly.
apparently
Be
what he's
better.
done.
Absolutely.
So, well, let's get into the secondary. Well, let's just start with the first. We don't know if he's going to be improved or not. But Bookie, obviously everybody is, he's the second coming of Bosworth, or I don't think he's got that type of attitude, but he's got that type of hype behind him. Number 44.
He's hyped up a little bit.
Yeah. He fits the part of what Oklahoma's been. He don't look 19. Okay.
He's definitely got a full beard, right?
Yeah. Full beard and that big fro, man. He's a bad looking dude.
Right?
But
He's got a little bit of a ham right now, right?
yeah, he's got a little bit of a hamstring. They've been resting
Hamstring,
him.
yeah.
But I think that's the type of player that we've missed to build around in the secondary.
I just think that his playmaking ability is really going to separate him from a lot of DBs that we've had. And I mean, not a knock against anybody, but he's like the best corner we've had since, or best really secondary, like player that's really gotten drafted high. And I mean, you could say Zach Sanchez,
Right?
And I mean, to see the mistakes he made,
Yeah,
and to just know that we have someone of this talent coming in. I mean, it's just nice to know that there's finally some pieces coming along.
But, and one thing that Stoops said, though, is you don't know how, as great of an athlete as he is, and he was in high school and everything else, you don't know how he's going to react in a stadium full of 90,000 or 100,000 fans, because there's more than 80, 89, 83, 85,000
Yeah, way more.
in that stadium. And if he makes a mistake, you don't know how you think their mental toughness. That's why they're the athlete they are, but you don't know how he's going to respond to that. And I use that. I got two examples to that I was thinking of earlier. One was Andrews. Okay, 2 years ago when he got clocked in the Ohio State game, he was not the same receiver the rest of the year. He did not want to go over the middle. Yep. He got smacked. Same way with quarterback.
Transferred to A&M?
Yeah. What's his name?
Trevor Knight.
Trevor Knight.
Trevor.
When Trevor Knight, and I understand Trevor Knight still, when he got hit in the Baylor game and was paralyzed.
He almost got his head knocked off.
Yeah, and was paralyzed momentarily there. Yeah, the next season he wasn't like there was. You just don't know. You just don't know how a player, especially a young player, is going to react to getting burnt maybe two plays in a row. Is that going to get into a psyche, or I've heard a lot of Sooners that went into the NFL. They talk about the difference between college ball and the NFL, and the difference between high school ball and college. There's such a huge leap.
There's a big jump.
Huge jump.
You're playing, high school ball. You're playing against, high school kids. And
some 16, 17-year-old kids that aren't even going to sniff.
Right.
College.
That's the highest level they're going to go.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you're out on a field with the greatest high school athletes that are now playing.
Yep.
Division I football.
And then you go into the pros. It's the same thing.
Sure.
So it's a whole. Everything moves faster, goes faster. I think he did well in the spring game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, but you don't know. I mean that first, FAU, he jumps a route and
Gets burnt.
Get burnt. What's it? Does he react as a, hey, it happens, or does he fall apart?
See, that's where those coaches come in.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where coaching comes in and says, hey, you messed that one up, but guess what? When
They're meaner than that initially.
Probably.
Yeah, they're gonna yell at him. Mike Stoops he'll yell at him.
So
Yeah,
But,
he'll
I
get lit up
think-
a couple times.
I think his ceiling, just Tyrann Mathieu. Just the similarities to Tyrann Mathieu when he was at LSU were enormous.
yeah.
So, for
The Honey Badger?
Sooner fans, our
Yeah.
hope is he is just like him.
Yeah. Well, and I think our defensive backfield is going to be better. It's, I
Much
mean,
improved.
you know, they yanked a bunch of upperclassmen last year and put in some freshmen that weren't ready, but they were better than what they were putting out there.
That was critical game time. Those they got.
Absolutely.
And they're coming back locked and loaded.
Oh yeah.
And
Another year better. You know, another year smarter.
no,
Yeah, I mean, for once, I'm excited about the defense. As
Well,
crazy as
I'm
that
not
sounds,
we're not drinking the Kool-Aid
yeah,
yet.
we're not drinking the Kool-Aid.
I said I'm excited. Not.
Yeah.
Like I said, we talked about it, on the podcast yesterday too. It was like, I started drinking the Kool-Aid. I was drinking it down after the Ohio State game last
Oh,
year,
yeah.
and we showed up at Baylor the next week, and
Yeah.
so until
Yeah.
and I've been that way the last several years. I'm just
you
not.
believe it when you see it.
Yeah,
You got to be.
yeah. I'm not going to get excited about it until I start seeing it produced, and we're gonna see it immediately because FAU is going to come in
They're
here.
no slouch.
Yeah, and we were talking about the UCLA game.
Yeah.
I mean, Chip Kelly, he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Not a single thing. And
None of them do. I mean,
even Lane Kiffin. I mean,
That and I mean they have a premier back. David Singletary is
Yeah.
one of the best running backs in the country.
Yeah. So it's
So
not we're we should win the game. We're going to win the game. I'll go ahead and give my game prediction. But
unlike Fox,
yeah,
Fox predicted us to lose.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
It'll be a game. But I mean, I'm like you. I mean, UCLA. That we've talked about it many times. Really, our first 4 games have been circled on.
yeah.
Since the end of last year, FAU, UCLA, Iowa State,
And then Army?
and then Army. But I tend to agree we're going to just like beat the dog crap out of Iowa State. But they're sitting here, they're getting ready to play that game because Iowa State is, because they want to prove it wasn't a fluke. And we're going to bring you up here and we're going to beat you in our house.
Well,
That's as long as they don't bring a quarterback out of the stands, I think we're fine.
As long as Kyle Kemp just stays in Ames, we're all right.
I think as long as our corners aren't 10 yards off,
Yeah.
I think we'll be just fine, to say the least.
See, there it is. Remember, Rob, I said it last night. Every fan that we have on brings up
Pretty
the
much.
10-yard cushion.
It's so frustrating, man.
It's frustrating to
so
watch.
frustrating.
We're not playing 3rd and 26.
I mean, especially
every
when you're
single
getting
play.
gassed by 5-6 yard hitch routes,
Yeah.
and you're 10 yards off. I mean,
We have this conversation multiple times a week
Better
now that we
believe
have
it.
this podcast. It is,
Oh,
and I said yesterday, every fan, the guy that was on yesterday, brought up the same way, and I said, and the reason why I bring it up was there was on our YouTube channel, which it's not videos, it's just our audio that goes across it. There's a fellow on there that calls us morons more than once, and he goes, it's not, it's not your defense, it's what the offense is doing, and da-da-da-da. And I was like, you guys are morons. Wish you could hear yourself. I'm like, okay, your defense should, dominate and what's the word I said last night, Rob? Dictate make them do what you want them to do.
yes.
yeah.
And
That's a crazy statement because I can hear you right now.
but it's just everybody that comes on here and that has been on here has said the same thing. It is, we don't want, the 10-yard cushions and this and this. And I don't understand if we see it as
How do they not see it?
casual fans
Yeah. I mean, if you
or
watch it-
rabid fans with Sooners tattooed across our chest.
I would like to think I know what I'm watching. So
I mean, he was coming down on us for some of the things we were saying about Mike, but I don't think I don't think any fan anywhere is okay with number 67 ranked defense unless you're Oklahoma State.
No, it's awful.
67, that's not okay with us, and I think it's okay to say that's not okay.
that's
Right.
not okay. And like you said, if we were 20 spots better last year, we would have smacked Bama in the mouth.
I mean,
Like, this is Oklahoma football we're
Right.
talking about. Come on.
right. And it's we've been a team that outscores our opponents, doesn't beat them, we outscore them.
It's been like that for a long
That's
time.
Yeah.
been the case for a decade.
Last year we outscored everybody but 2. You know, and that's what it was. We didn't stop anybody.
No.
And I said it last night. I want to say it again. What I want to see this year is 2 defensive stops more than what we had last year. That's all I'm asking.
If we would
I
have
don't like
had
that
that's a
big of
lot
a
to
deal.
ask.
does
if
it?
we would have had that last year, we would have. Saying undefeated is a long stretch, but with the games we lost, yeah.
You know,
I mean, even against Georgia. I mean, you literally
We
just
needed
play
one.
defense for one play, and they don't get an opportunity to kick
Or
that
make
field
a
goal
field goal.
before
Yeah.
halftime.
yeah, or you know,
Or block Lorenzo Carter,
or
and not
even
get our-
even on their last drive that they came down and scored. You know, we had them 4th down. You know, 1 stop is all we need.
One stop. That's all you need is one.
And you know, and I say that, and I'm going to stand by it. I mean, Rob knows I'm passionate about this still, is that it's, you know, Oklahoma State, we outscored Oklahoma State. We outscored Baylor. Okay. We didn't beat them. We outscored them. It was a track meet. Both of those games were track meets. Kansas State. Okay. Same thing. We outscored them. We scored more times than they did.
Just for the record, I hate playing that way.
I know. I mean, I hate it.
it.
It drives me nuts.
Give us stops.
And now that the season is here, I'm like, son of a bitch, they're going to do this to me again.
I mean, you know it's going to happen by at least one game.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't even want to think about
Yeah.
it.
and
I
the thing
literally
is-
cannot handle games like that anymore.
No.
Physically, I don't think I can do it.
No, I mean, I think even whenever we played Houston a few years ago,
Yeah.
I accepted that loss halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah.
I
Just play some
knew it,
damn
and I just was
defense.
just like, you know what? Let's just go on to the next.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it drive. You know, here, and we're getting close to the season, and I'm just, you know, and we're going to see it right off the bat.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to see if we're any better defensively, because if we win, you know, obviously I'm going to be happy if we
Yeah.
beat FAU.
Yeah.
But if it's 45-42.
Pissed.
To say the least. If we allow
Pissed.
42 to FAU, which
I mean,
not
I'll
saying
still be
that they're
happy
a
that
bad
we
team.
won.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
A win's a win.
we will be
so-
having this
But-
conversation.
Well, it'll be just like last year when we played Tulane.
Yeah.
We got out of there with a win, and we were like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
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 Like that first quarter was a joke.
Yeah. And then you're going to turn around and you got UCLA come in here,
And
Yeah.
then the
Can't sleep
revenge
on Chip
game.
Kelly
Yeah.
ever.
and then you got the Iowa State, and then you got Army. I mean, and none of those are gimmies. Not a single one of those games are gimmies.
Army won.
They
what,
should be,
10
but
games
they're
last year?
not.
Yeah, I mean, Army went
Yeah.
bowling last year, so
That triple option's not easy to defend.
I'm just telling you,
So-
if we don't beat teams this year, if we don't beat those first 4 teams,
yeah.
it could be tough.
Hurt.
All right, so none of those are gimmies. But what if our defense went from 67 to 47 over the offseason? We're now the 47th ranked defense. Are those games all but gimmies?
If we,
Yeah.
yeah, they're gimmies then. If we improve 20 spots, it's a 24-point game against FAU. If that.
Cause
you know.
turnovers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're going to shut
Couple
them down.
turnovers.
Yeah, we're going to shut them down.
And
Yeah.
they're not going to be able to shut us down.
Right.
I feel like if you go from 67th to 47th ranked on defense, I feel like that's a vast improvement to not just winning by a touchdown, but maybe winning by 17. You know
Yeah.
what I just feel like that makes a huge difference going
Yeah.
from just 20 spots, and I feel like that's not much to ask.
Yeah.
When you look at other teams in this conference, I mean, the only team that'll be above you, I mean, maybe TCU with a better
Yeah.
defense, but their offense doesn't even come close.
Yeah. But again, I'm going to say it again. Rob's tired of hearing it. Okay. I'm tired of the bull crap that the Big 12 doesn't play defense. You can't play a good style of defense in the
Over
Big
it.
12, blah, 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 blah. TCU has for as long as they've been in this conference.
They figured it out. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. You know, the only team that Patterson didn't figure out is Oklahoma. And he even said that. I mean, he was.
Well, even if you had us figured out last year, that didn't mean you could stop
yeah.
us.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
we
And
had
I
the
think
best,
that was the case with TCU.
we had the best
Yeah.
college quarterback
Yeah.
of all time, arguably.
Yeah.
Arguably.
I think so.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
you know, here we go. Okay. Last subject. He
Okay.
brought it up. He brought up Baker.
I did,
Has anybody seen the underwear ad?
dude.
I did.
The dude looks chiseled.
Have you seen the underwear ad?
Is it a dude?
It's Baker
Oh, no.
Well,
I-
Baker's posing with a tiger.
with
And
a tiger and a car
and
in
do you
his
guys-
underwear.
And the tiger is the
Why
tiger
does
from
that
The
seem weird to
Hangover.
me?
I'm not even kidding you. I read that today.
It's like $1 million car with the door open. He's just standing
Yeah, he's
there.
in front of a Rolls Royce, and there's a
I'm
tiger.
I'm probably not going to look at that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Google it on up.
His dad bod beer belly. He doesn't have that anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
He's ripped.
yeah, but I mean, it's like, I don't understand, and they were giving it, if you retweeted it and they got so many retweets, they were giving away free underwear.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like a
Did you
new
guys see
promotion.
some
I'm
of
good with
the
what I
underwear?
got.
Yeah.
I like Hanes. I'm good with
What?
my Hanes.
Did you guys see some of the underwear?
Uh-uh.
Oh, it's hideous.
It's
No,
hideous.
It's garbage.
I mean, one is essentially just got the number 6 right over his crotch.
Oh, my
And I
God.
was just like, why are we doing this? Yeah.
That's not
garbage.
right.
I'm
No, I
sticking
didn't
to
even,
my
all I,
Hanes.
it
I mean, just to see it on Twitter, I was just scrolling through and I was just like, that can't be serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go to the website and it's sure as hell right there.
no, I
so.
think it was, I think OU Nation, I can't remember who, that was the first place I saw it, and they were like, comment if you want, we don't have any words, and to me, it's like his SI cover. I'm just like, ugh. I don't.
Yeah.
It's just there. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Can't unsee it now, so.
yeah, it's just, but you know,
the
hey,
guy, the guy looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's photoshopped. I mean, come on. I mean, there's no photo out there that
okay,
isn't
Logan,
somewhat
Logan
photoshopped.
said it, Baker, not us. It's
Come on.
Photoshop. You got a beer belly. They sucked it in, and
Not to that extreme, but
no, but yeah, it's just, I mean, it's an endorsement. He's getting money for it.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
Yeah.
Like
What's
he
up,
needs
bud?
it.
yeah, like he needs it.
Yeah.
Somebody want to pay me to stand around in my underwear. Hey,
I mean,
hell, I think that signing bonus
First of
was
all, I
15
question
mil.
your
yeah, their eyesight if they want. But yeah, I mean, it's just
should have just posed in his RV.
Yeah.
Hard Knocks.
yeah, he's got an RV.
Should have just posted up with a Puma and his RV and his underwear.
Yeah,
Changed it up a little bit.
I thought it was fun, and Tattoo Baker will like this. I have watched a little bit of it because obviously I'm a Steelers fan and I could care less about the Browns.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny. It was his first big purchase was renting that
Yep.
RV. And he
Uh-huh.
was worried his credit card wouldn't go
Oh,
through
yep,
because they
yep.
just got a credit increase on it, and he was like, I don't know if that'll work. I don't know. And they swiped, and he was like, whew, it went through.
He was all happy it went through.
so that hey, Hard Knocks is on tonight too, right?
I don't know.
I
really
think
We got it
so.
recorded at the house.
I have it
so
recorded at the
we'll have to
house.
figure that one
So if
out.
I miss it, I just watch it the next day.
I mean, I watch Hard Knocks anyway, not because Baker. I mean,
yeah.
I don't watch them. Even being a Steelers fan, but when the Ravens were the first ones that did it, I used to watch it every week. I remember watching it when Kelly Gregg was on it.
Oh yeah.
And I
that
remember
guy.
when
wow.
when they
Wow.
That guy.
his rookie year, they cut him. They didn't cut him. They put him on the practice squad.
Uh-huh.
And that's proof that you're a bad dude when they put you on the practice squad, and the next thing you know, you're winning the Super Bowl as the starting
That
nose guard.
dude is
Yeah, and Kelly Gregg was a bad dude.
He was a
badass.
bad dude.
To say the least.
But I used to watch it back then, and I watched it with the Cowboys. It's just
Yeah, didn't have like the Texans and Dolphins on it.
yeah.
Oh,
I
they've-
watch it just because it's
a
cool
good
to
show.
watch that stuff.
Yeah.
Man,
I've only seen 2 episodes my whole life.
Rob, you're
Did
so
you see the Jarvis Landry tirade?
No.
no.
Oh, Jarvis Landry went on a tirade.
Yeah.
He was cussing.
This year?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's on Hard Knocks. He's
Maybe
just
I haven't seen 2 episodes then.
maybe one.
he was just in the meeting room,
Yeah.
and they just kind of just got into it.
It
Or
was
he
about
didn't.
all the
No one got
receivers.
into it. He just was really getting on the receivers'
Which
ass.
episode was that?
The first one. First one of the season.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm not
maybe
mistaken.
I've seen 1 episode.
Receivers
I
weren't-
watched it twice. I don't know.
Or maybe you watched one and went to the kitchen and came back
Missed
and
that
started
part.
watching it
It's-
again,
That's
Yeah.
certainly possible.
and you thought it was the second one.
I don't know. Maybe it's a highly
Yeah,
possible.
if you get a chance, look it up.
Yeah, definitely.
He says some stuff.
Trying to change a culture over there. That's for sure.
Yeah,
That's
well,
for
it's
damn
not going
sure.
to happen. They're the Browns. Oh, I did see somebody post a deal that I guess PETA is on the dog pound.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. They
Are-
want
are
that
they
changed.
really?
Yeah, to change it from
That's so stupid.
from the dog pound to the dog. What do they want them to change it?
Like the dog house or something.
Dog house, yeah, or something like
So-
that.
Something
Now
to
that you
where
said
it's
that, I want
not
to say I've
cruel.
heard that.
Because I guess dog pound,
dog
just
pack,
seems cruel.
Dog pound. It's cruel. It's degrading to dogs. Dogs aren't complaining about the Browns being.
You know what's cruel is when I grab somebody from PETA and thump them in the nose. That's cruel.
That's cruel.
My thing is, we need to make football violent again.
Yeah, it's getting
And with the new helmet stuff is a whole new topic, and opening a whole new box. But the new lowering or leading with your helmet rule, that's so stupid.
Yeah, I mean I get it. You know the injuries and stuff.
I mean, I do too.
It's still football.
It's football.
I think at the end of the day, you know what you sign up. You know what you're signing up for.
If you lower, you played football.
Yeah,
but you lower your shoulder, your head's going to come with it.
Yeah, but I think back in my day, we were taught you lower your shoulder and you put the head to the side.
Exactly.
You know
they aren't really
what it
doing
was.
That now.
Yeah, they started teaching it. Mm-hmm. You know, you started having these perpendicular tackles by the corners 10 years ago, and Oklahoma was good at it. I mean, they knocked some people. They did some UFC knockouts on some guys a couple of times.
Shark stuff.
Yeah,
killing people.
But the stuff with the new kickoff rule, and I tried to look it up. You know, they say, well, it's safe. You know, there's more people hurt, and the kickoff is one of the most dangerous things. I can't find any stats anywhere of how many people have been hurt during that. What I do agree with, though, and it's even though it was about the Steelers and everything else, the movie Concussion. Mm-hmm. I like what the doctor said at the end of it. He said, he didn't understand the game, but he appreciated it. His wife loved the game, and she hollers at the TV. She does all that stuff. And he said, I can appreciate what you do, and I see the beauty in what you do. He said, but just as a soldier goes to battle, they know that they can be killed. Okay.
Yeah.
His whole deal was, you need to know that CTE, this can happen to you, whether it does or not. Yeah. You need to be aware of it. And I agree with that they need to, but I mean, I think every football player, we were just talking about Kelly Gregg. I listen to him on the radio a lot. He talked about time, we grew up in an era, and he was in that same era. He's younger than us, but you didn't take yourself out of a game, Yeah. I mean,
you'd be forced out.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I got knocked out in a game. You could see in the film I was out, but it was only for a second. I got up, and the only reason why I went out was because my face mask broke. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I went out, and they couldn't once they got my face mask off, because it was crunched on, my helmet was still on. They got it off. They gave me another guy's helmet, and I went back in the game. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I guarantee you, I had a concussion because my damn head was hurting. Oh,
for sure.
No, yeah.
Yeah. But you couldn't have kept me on the sidelines. I was standing over. I was screaming for a helmet. Mm-hmm. Somebody give me their helmet. Somebody give me their helmet. But today they're not going to let it happen. And I agree with it to a point. But I mean, don't take away from the game.
Yeah.
I agree with the thing. If a guy gets his bell rung, that you don't let him back in the game until he passes the protocol.
Exactly. I mean, it's safety.
The game's just changed.
It's common sense.
Yeah. But
we didn't have it back then.
No. No. Mm-mm.
I mean, we also rode our bikes with no helmet.
Yeah. No seat belts.
Yeah. there was a lady at work the other day. She was talking about, said something to her kid was riding a bike, and she was like, "We're here. Why don't she got to the front of it and said, "Why don't you pump me?" He was like, "What are you talking about, Mom?" Because remember riding on the handlebars,
pumping.
Did y'all ever do that?
Yeah, and then riding on the pegs too.
We did never call it pumping though.
Yeah,
I never heard that term.
That was what it was called there. Give me a pump.
Yeah,
but we did.
Basically,
just
give someone a ride.
Yeah,
that's really all you did. And then also, I mean, I guess it was maybe just my day and age, but the pegs.
Yeah,
you just basically hopped on, grabbed your friend's
the
shoulders. And
I mean, we used to
took a ride.
We used to pull. We get on a bicycle and pull another guy on a skateboard.
Oh yeah.
Or on cardboard in
land
the field.
Surfing.
Yeah.
Land surfing.
So I mean, it's changed, but I think they're taking it, I mean, there was a pro game, I remember, and they've a guy got it, I think it was not ESPN on Twitter put it out there. Guy got a 15-yard penalty for playing football. Okay, because he sacked the quarterback.
I saw that.
Yeah,
we were just
he sacked the quarterback, and it was unnecessary roughness.
Yep. It was. I mean,
because he threw his shoulder into him, buried him into the ground.
That's crazy.
I mean, to me, I mean, that was the epitome of a tackle.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks need safe rooms where they can go and cry.
He was just weak side. He was just unblocked. He just came in there. Was it a play action, if I'm not mistaken? And then he just came off of it.
He didn't bite on the play action.
He just didn't bite on it, and he just cracked him. And it was a nice hit, but it was just like,
no, you can't.
You don't. Where's the flag on that play?
And the rule, and I think they changed it this year that the targeting rule.
Yeah.
If the ref throws a flag and calls targeting, they kicked you out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then if it wasn't targeting, they didn't let you go back in the game.
Yeah, which is dumb.
Yeah, and I think there needs to show intent. If it was,
you need to show malicious intent.
Yeah,
for sure.
If a guy just makes a bad tackle and leads with his head, what, Rob?
I'm just thinking. You remember when we played malicious intent? If I could put my hand in your face mask while you're on the ground, I would definitely smash your nose.
Yep.
Yeah. And I would do it on purpose.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's malicious intent.
Malicious intent. Now malicious intent is just lowering your shoulder.
I just think if a couple of years ago with the Kansas State game when our fullback, it wasn't intent. It was the corner, the end was in a bad position. He was in a bad position, and they butted heads. Yeah, they kicked him out of the game for it.
And then what's the defender supposed to do? If the defender's going in for a form tackle using their shoulder, and the offensive player lowers their head, and then you run your shoulder into their head, it's targeting. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Happened last night in the Bears game with Kyle Fuller.
Yeah.
You got a targeting call.
But, it's... I agree with you. They need to start. They need to start letting them play football again.
Be better.
Yeah.
Be better about the calls. I mean, I get it. You're trying to improve player safety, but just be better with the calls.
If you're not sure, they throw it at targeting, and I think they should look. I mean,
review it.
Like I said, if it's malicious intent, if this guy came in with his head down, wasn't looking up, or as they say, parallels himself. In the air, that you can't tackle like that.
If he's trying to Muhammad Massaquoi him, just kill him.
If they could just give you a little handbook and just have Vontez perfect hits, and just say, "Don't hit like this.
Don't do this."
That's apparently essentially what you could do.
The NFL is putting together a video of how to tackle, and giving it to coaches and players and owners and everything somewhat soon.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
How to tackle. Okay.
But
have to reteach
We've
everyone.
been playing football for our entire lives. We're in the NFL now, but we need to relearn how to tackle.
Yeah. So, and the NFL, now they're running the clinics for the little league coaches to teach and all that stuff. So,
I mean, these are violent guys.
Oh yeah.
You know what? And we enjoyed it. Oh. I should feel bad about saying that. I really should. But I'm telling you, when I was in high school, I enjoyed it.
Oh, I loved every minute of it.
If I could knock your helmet off, man, I was on cloud.
It's gladiatorial stuff. I mean, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try and end your day.
Yeah. Well, and I said my whole deal when I was talking about I got knocked out in a game. It was momentarily. Me and my best friend that I grew up with, he was a Dallas Cowboys fan, and I'm a Steelers fan.
I'm sorry.
And what, for him?
Yeah.
But. There was a game that we were watching, and Jack Lambert broke his face mask, and I think he hit Tony Dorsett. And he came off the field. He was running across the field pulling his face mask apart. And me and Richard was one of my best friends growing up, we were like, oh, my God, he just broke his face mask. How cool would that be to hit somebody so hard you break your face mask?
That feeling.
Yeah. Well, that play I was talking about, we were running a bootleg, and I was pulling. I was the center, and I pulled. And we would hold up the end and then let him come through, and I was to take him out. Was going to little tight end pop, and I came in at him, and he jumped, but his knee was coming in, and his knee hit me in the face mask. Okay, and the weirdest thing, the only thing I remember about that, I remember feeling, you're not used to in football feeling something hit your face.
Yeah, but
you see me, I go limp on the film and kind of slide. And I lay there for a second, and I get up, and I remember my face was hurting. I was walking to the huddle all day.
Hurts us too.
Yeah. But my face was hurting, okay? And I go over and I call huddle. I called huddle, and I look over at Richard, and my face, my nose and my mouth is hurting. And Richard Pecchio looks at me with both hands and goes, "Dude, you broke your face mask." I broke my face mask. It had snapped off all the deals, jammed up underneath.
Damn.
But that was, that was a goal in my life. Was I wonder what it's like, what it feels like to break your face mask. Well, I know it hurts.
It hurt. Yeah.
But
it's not supposed to break. It's metal.
Yeah, and you see.
Well, back then they weren't.
Yeah,
back
then they were. Well, ours I think had some. It didn't like break it in two. It just broke it off of all of its screws and wedged it underneath my helmet.
Back then, real men played football.
Oh yeah, you look at the Dick Butkusses.
It's just about the mentality. The guys today, they're not different than we were.
Oh,
they're just being tamed. I don't know.
They're divas.
Because I can still remember the best play I ever made was not like a sack behind the line of scrimmage. I trailed a play just so I could hit somebody.
Yeah.
And when I caught the dude, it was on the sidelines. The dude didn't know I was trailing.
Oh, yeah.
And he turned back into me, and I hit him so square. It knocked him and me, went into the coach and knocked the coach down. The dude got up and his arm was twisted the wrong direction. And I was like, yes, this is it.
I did it.
Accomplished.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It felt good. I'm not going to lie. I felt pretty good about it.
Yeah.
That's what football is. That's what those guys
You
do.
want to hit someone.
Yeah.
That's why you play defense. You want to hit someone.
Yeah, it is, but we'll see. Well,
we shall see.
I'm probably going to throw up the first time somebody fair catches a kickoff inside
Jesus. That'll be the day.
That's the new rule. You can fair catch it inside the 20-yard line, and you get the ball on the 25.
That's so stupid.
And no running starts.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If it's outside the end zone,
I think what we ought to
ball.
do, here's my answer to the kickoff, is the team stand arm to arm, hand to hand on the 40-yard line, and one team go, Red Rover, let 42 come over. And if he runs through, he gets to go score a touchdown.
So if they're just going to make it that soft, let's just get rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, nobody wants to watch
Let's play soccer.
a bunch of titty bumping.
Yeah, let's play soccer.
I mean, just get rid of kickoffs altogether.
Just get rid of the pads
And just start at the 20 and just.
Well, guys, hey, we're going to go ahead and end it here. We appreciate y'all coming over. Hope you had a good time.
Absolutely.
And I've got your number. Some of the stuff we're going to be doing a pregame deal. We'll put you on the list to call sometime to do a little 10-minute pregame segment if you want. And if you, Logan, if you want to give me your stuff, we'll get you on and do that too.
Be glad. I'd be honored.
But again, next week, fans, we're not going to be doing these type of podcasts as much. We're going to be doing it for the game day, the pregame. We're going to be doing podcasts with other podcasters from FAU, UCLA, Army, Iowa State. We're going to have stuff like that, and Rob and I are going to do some stuff more on that. But we're going to let our fans talk about the game, pregame, and what's going on before that. So we have a former Sooner that's going to be on with us. We're looking forward to that. Not going to tell everybody who it is. We'll just tell right now. You'll find out on Friday on Twitter. We'll let everybody know on Twitter. But let's just say he played in the 80s, and he played behind the line. So we'll leave it at that.
The offensive line or the defensive line?
Well, Rob, I mean, come on.
I mean, I know, but
and I'll just he played behind the defensive line.
Uh-oh.
So he's gonna be here Friday.
Bet you he's not afraid to hit someone.
Yeah.
I bet he still would.
Yeah, and we'll probably ask him about all that. So a little bit of it, but anyway, again, guys, thanks a lot. Everybody, we'll hear you. Talk to you on the next round.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Boomer Rob,
Boomer Terry,
Boomer Wes,
Boomer,
and Boomer Logan.
Boomer.
Thanks for listening to the Sooner Football Fans Podcast. If you want to be on the podcast and talk Sooner football with us, go to www.soonerfootballfans.com. Click on the How to Be on the Podcast tab, fill out the form, and we'll get you on. Boomer.